What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here and new to this series, this is where I am discussing all about my gastric sleeve procedure. So today is June 30th and I have my EGD tomorrow. So this is part of the requirements for the surgery. It's basically, I'll put like the exact specifications of what it's called or whatever, but it's basically an upper GI endoscopy where they go in and they look at your stomach and they take a biopsy. So they take a piece of your stomach out to test it for a specific bacteria that can be harmful during the procedure and can cause a lot of issues. So tomorrow, how this is gonna work, my appointment is at 12:30. I have to be there at 11:30 and the hospital location is almost an hour away. So we're gonna leave the house at about 10:30. I am gonna take you guys with me. I'm not sure how all of that is gonna work, but I will film what I can. So it sounds like when I get there, I am supposed to call them and let them know I'm here. They are only doing one patient in there at a time. So this is more of it's a hospital / surgery center situation. So I will call the nurse, let them know I'm there. They will call me when it is safe to come up. I'm gonna go in through the ER and then they're gonna take me up to the area where I will be having the procedure. Brett can go with me because he is my spouse. But once they take me back for the procedure, he cannot stay. He has to go back down to his car and then they will do the procedure. I do have to take, I have to do a urine test essentially for pregnancy. And then they'll take me back, do the procedure. The procedure is done by the doctor that will be doing the gastric sleeve procedure on me. You say procedure a couple more times, but my doctor will be doing it himself. So it is someone that I know and trust, which made me feel a lot more comfortable. They'll take me back, do the procedure, and then they're gonna give me about 15 minutes is what they said the typical time to wake up is. And then they will call Brett, wheel me out to him, and he will take me home. And then I'm not allowed to drive for 24 hours because of the anesthesia. So that's kind of the rundown of what's gonna happen tomorrow. In preparation for that, I have done the COVID test and I'm not allowed to eat anything, eat or drink anything 6 hours before the surgery. So procedure, it's not a surgery. It's 6:30 a.m. I am cut off from anything. So basically I'm just not gonna eat anything when I get up. I'm not really that nervous, but I am a little nervous I mean, honestly, it's not getting knocked out. I'm probably the only person on the planet that likes getting knocked out. I don't know what it is, but I like the, drug-induced sleep feeling, if that makes any sense. I guess that's kind of why I like to use Xanax to sleep, which is approved by a doctor, by the way. But it makes me feel drowsy, and I like that drowsy feeling because I have difficulty sleeping, so I know I'm gonna sleep. But getting knocked out doesn't bother me. It's the IV that bothers me. I've had so many bad experiences with IVs. I will not be wearing a hospital gown. I can wear whatever I want. They just said to be comfortable because they will take me back in it and send me out in it. So I don't have to change it all, which is great. But I think that's it. All right, I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. Okay. So we are here. I just called to let them know I'm here. This is what I'm wearing. Just my split Victoria's Secret pants and a Mickey tee. We are headed up. Brett's somewhere. There's Brett. So I called them to let them know I was here and they just said, okay, you can go ahead and come up. So we are headed in. Brett has his mask down here. So we're gonna go through the screening process to get into the hospital and then I will check in with you in a minute. You're gonna do construction work.
I'm exposed.
Okay, so I'm in a little bay, and this is what it looks like. Brett looks thrilled. We just signed some paperwork, and the nurse is gonna come in here in a minute. Okay, so it is quite a few hours later. I think it's almost 7 o'clock now. Oh my God, my mouth is so dry. They gave me a medicine that makes your mouth dry out so that there's no interference with the scope or anything, and it lasts for like the whole day. I don't know if you guys, like, before I get a head cold or a sinus infection or something, the back of my throat starts to go dry, and it's that same feeling, and I hate this. I feel like I'm getting sick, even though I know that's not what it is. But, okay, so we left off with me looking like a crazy mess attached to a billion things. So here's what happened. First off, they poked me 3 times before they found a vein after I told them that it was going to be difficult, and they did not bring in the person that, like, specializes in that to get my IV going. So I now have 3 bruises, one in my right hand, one in my right elbow. This one is particularly lovely as it is developing. And then they finally got the IV in my right hand, or my left hand, which doesn't look bad at all right now because it didn't blow. The vein in my hand blew, and they couldn't find the vein. Oh my God, I hate when they do this. I told them not to do it, and then this is just so frustrating for me. I don't want to rag on the medical community because they do a job that nobody else can do. But I have veins that are very difficult to find, and it does not matter what I weigh. Even when I was 150 pounds in college, you still couldn't find my veins. You just can't find them. They like to hide. They're sneaky. And a long time ago, I had somebody try to find a vein in my right elbow by sticking the needle in, losing where the vein was, which happens frequently, and instead of pulling the needle out like they usually do, they go like this, and they try to find the vein. And that's what happened today. So, I mean, the first nurse gets it into my right hand, and then the vein blows. Not her fault. I get that. That happens pretty frequently. And then, well, the other thing was I'm pretty dehydrated because they told me not to eat or drink anything, and I hadn't had anything to drink since dinner the night before. So it's already hard to find a vein, right? So the next nurse comes in, and I mean, they were all so sweet, and she was so apologetic about it, but it's just so frustrating for me. I just said, please don't fish if you're going to try to find a vein in my elbow. She sticks me with the needle, and then I can feel it moving. I can feel her fishing for it. And I go, did you get it? And she goes, no, I'm trying to catch it. And I go, and she goes, do you want me to stop? And I said, trying to catch it is the same as fishing. And she goes, okay. And she takes it right out. So, I mean, this is what gives me anxiety. It's not being put under. It's nothing else. It's the IV. So then we have the head anesthetist, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, the guy that gives you anesthesia. He comes in and gets it first try on my left hand. I can't tell my left from my right now, apparently. So once all of that was over, they were about 15 minutes behind, which is totally fine. Not like I have anything else going on. And they took me back to a room. It was not like an operating room. I have been knocked out quite a few times for various surgeries, and the thing that freaks me out is when you like have to move yourself off the bed onto the operating table. That freaks me out. I think I had to do that with my breast reduction, and I think I had to do that with my tonsillectomy as well. I don't know. There's something about like putting yourself on that table. It almost feels like you're putting yourself on the cold table at the morgue. I don't know what it is. It just freaks me out. But I didn't have to do that. So I went in there. I met the anesthesiologist. That's the word I was looking for. The anesthesiologist's nurse. Although anesthetist might also be right. I don't know the difference. But I met her. And there was another nurse, there was the doctor's nurse, there was the nurse that screwed up this thing. There were like 4 or 5 nurses, I'm not kidding you, and then the doctor in the back ready to do the scope. And I mean, they're pulling, they're prodding, they're just doing what they need to do. I am allergic to most adhesives, so they had originally put the EKG monitor on me, on my chest, and I started to break out. So they took it off of me, and they waited until I got in there, and then they put it on my my biceps, which was great because I did not break out on my biceps. I don't think I did. No, I didn't. There were 2 things that kind of made me uncomfortable, but this is just how it goes. They put a bite guard in your mouth so that it kind of looks like a ball gag almost, but there's a hole in the middle so that your mouth stays open while you're asleep so they can get the scope down your stomach. Makes sense. There are lots of videos on what the, like, simulations of what the scope looks like and what they're looking at, if you want to see those on YouTube. So they put the mouth guard on, or the bite guard, she called it a bite guard, on me. And then my oxygen mask kept falling off, which was fine with me because it was driving me insane. You guys complain about, well, not you guys, but people complain about the fabric masks all the time. Try wearing a cannula and an oxygen mask for an hour. That's way less fun. So I was happy to put my fabric mask on in recovery. So they had me roll over onto my left side, and then the anesthesiologist nurse said, okay, here comes the sedative. And it, you know, they didn't make me count backwards from 10 or anything, mostly because I'm just sitting there like, waiting. And for a second I was like, oh my God, what if I don't fall asleep? I've never thought that before. I've never thought, oh my God, what if I'm awake for this whole thing? What if, like, it doesn't work? What if they don't realize that I'm awake right now? What if, what? I didn't feel it for a minute. Not like a minute, maybe like 5 or 10 seconds. I didn't feel anything. And usually I take to it really, really fast, but I have gained quite a bit of weight since I was knocked out last, so it might have just taken longer. I felt it first in my toes, kind of a tingly feeling in my toes, then in my fingers, then it came up through my chest and my head, and then I thought I started to feel a little sleepy, and I thought to myself, this is gonna be a good nap. I'm gonna close my eyes. And the next thing I know I'm in recovery. Like, this isn't the movies where you see, like, the eyes open slowly. It was like, I'm asleep, I'm full on awake. Answering all of the nurses' questions, and the dry mouth situation is rough. It's rough. It's still bad. Like, I have been drinking water all day. I did take a nap. They told me that was okay to take a nap, that I just needed someone to stay with me for 12 hours. So Brett is at the gym right now, and I'm alone, but it's only for an hour, and I'm fine. But if you've never been knocked out before, you probably should have somebody stay with you for 12 hours, and they do tell you not to drive. So I feel like I could drive right now, but I'm not going to until tomorrow morning. So it doesn't hurt. Nothing hurts. I don't have a sore throat. I don't have, like, my stomach doesn't hurt. They did take a biopsy, so they took a piece of my stomach out, just a little snip, to check for bacteria. They said could take 2 weeks to come back, but the recovery nurse said usually it only takes a few days. But since it's a holiday weekend, 4th of July is this weekend, it might take a little longer. I'm just really anxious. I want to get this going. I'm sick of being like this, and I'm doing the best I can, like, by myself to fix the issue. And obviously I'm doing this because doing it by myself isn't enough. I'm really excited to get it done, and I want to get it done as quickly as possible, but of course I need to follow the steps. So that's where we're at. It was pretty painless and easy. The only thing that's irritating me right now are all of my lovely bruises from my IVs, or my attempted IVs, and this dry mouth situation. I cannot believe that I put the video of me with all those tubes on the internet, but there it is. You know, I really wanted to do this because I have seen other people share their gastric sleeve experiences. I went back and I looked again, and I found a few more. There's a couple of people that have been pretty religious about posting it, about their experience, but I haven't seen anybody that's gone, like, step by step, like, this is the EGD that you're gonna go through, and this is the process. This is the sleep study. This is the process. I'm gonna do a whole video on this is how much it cost, like, at my surgery center, and how my insurance covered it. I'm gonna do all of these specific pieces because I think they're important. I totally forgot to share the cost of this procedure because it was not cheap. So I just got on Brett's insurance in May when we got married. So total for the procedure, if I have to pay, the deductible will be about $1,100. So I guess I will just catch you guys in the next gastric sleeve installment. Subscribe if you haven't already, become a Warrior Crew member for other non-gastric sleeve related content, and I'll catch you in the next one. Love you, Warrior Crew. Bye.